shame. Leave me something.
Any more from you?
But you're taking everything.
Find these girls learn to obey their betters.
You call yourselves men? What has this poor creature done to deserve all this?
Save your sermons for your flock, Father Dumpling. He hasn't paid his dues.
I have paid. Time and again I've paid.
Meantime, we're going to make an example of you.
No! Stop that!
If he's any complaint, Sir Watkin will know how to attend to it.
Sir Watkin?
So, you've received complaints from the peasants, my Lord Deputy Sheriff.
Let's understand each other about this. It's no concern of mine what you collect from your peasants, provided that you don't extort so much from them that they can't afford to pay my taxes.
You're aware that Lord Ambrose was left his estate only recently.
And that you've come down to be his bailiff from his estates in the north, that you've only been here a few days. Yes, but that's no excuse. You must restrict your tax gathering to lawful amounts. Otherwise, I shall have to take steps.
Sheriff, apart from tax money for Prince John, are you interested in tax money for yourself?
Oh. That depends how such money was come by.
I wouldn't suggest anything that wasn't quite legal.
Of course.
You know my liege, Lord Ambrose?
I know of him as a crusader and as an uncommonly, indeed unbelievably soft-hearted man.
And yet he's given me unbelievably hard-hearted orders. Father Ignatius! Father Ignatius, chaplain to my Lord Ambrose, very holy man. My Lord Deputy Sheriff, I have been explaining to the Sheriff that Lord Ambrose asked me to look after his estates in accordance with orders which you yourself brought.
Oh, yes, that is correct. I brought the orders myself from the Holy Land. Sir Watkin is now Lord Ambrose bailiff. Sure. Lord Ambrose himself expects to be in the Holy Land for some time. And...
Thank you. I don't think we need to intrude on your devotions any further.
Very well, Sir Watkin, I accept that you're acting on Lord Ambrose's orders. But surely that wasn't all that you wanted to tell me.
I can tell you that this estate is far richer than Lord Ambrose could ever have guessed. And he's never seen it. He's still in the Holy Land.
And it's only fair that the bailiff should share in his lord's good fortune.
Not only the bailiff, the powers of law and order, and their representative.
Their representative?
What would you say to 500 marks?
The representative of law and order cannot be bribed with a lump sum, 2/3 of everything that you collect for Lord Ambrose but don't give to him.
Did you say a third?
1/2.
I can't argue with you.
What happens if Lord Ambrose returns from the Holy Land?
I shall instantly disappear.
That would be a very wise precaution. Then I'll see you in Nottingham, Sir Watkin. The sooner the better.
I fear you don't understand the situation, Friar.
Not for me, Sir Watkin.
As you wish. No one deplores the state of the peasants more than I.
Then why are you taxing them so heavily?
I tax them? I am not the lord of this estate. I'm only the bailiff.
The men were acting under your orders.
On the orders of my master, Lord Ambrose. Lord Ambrose, as you surely know, is fighting a crusade in the Holy Land. And it's up to all of us who live on his estate to help him. If not with our blood, then with our riches.
But what riches do the peasants have? I'm sure that if Lord Ambrose knew that you were overtaxing them even on his behalf...
Overtaxing? My good friar. Lord Ambrose's zeal for the Holy Land makes him blind to all else. And he, being so devout, to be sure, would be the first to say that to sacrifice in a godly cause brings its own reward. So if the peasants suffer... Ah, splendid. Underdone. Take it back.
I see, Sir Watkin, that you do not sacrifice much.
Come now, Friar, we must think of the inner man.
I was thinking of one of Lord Ambrose's peasants who has no roof over his head. Give your banquet to him rather than to me. Good day.
Well, I'm glad that stopped.
Well, it's the beginning of winter, Will. You must expect rain.
Come on, we better get these provisions into the supply cave.
Robin!
Tuck! At this hour of night? Hello. Man, you're drenched.
From head to foot. Oh, I was caught in the storm on the way here.
Couldn't you take shelter somewhere?
I was in a hurry. Lord Ambrose's tenants and serfs are being evicted from their homes for failing to pay their taxes twice over.
Look, come and sit down by the fire. Evicted? By whom? Lord Ambrose is at the crusade.
Yes, I know, but he's got a new bailiff, Sir Watkin. Oh, I've been to see him, and he explained everything, of course. He's just the bailiff, acting on his master's orders. Lord Ambrose is to blame.
Oh, that's impossible. Everybody knows he's the kindest man.
Well, I'm only repeating what I was told.
Look, we'll talk about it more tomorrow. You better get those wet things off. You'll catch a chill. Get him something dry to put on from the supply cave.
Oh, and a drop of...
Robin, who is this Lord Ambrose?
He's a Knight Templar, half soldier, half monk.
Is he loyal to Prince John or the king?
The king? He's with him at the crusade now. I don't like the sound of this bailiff. I think I'll keep an eye on him.
Oh, it's my chest. I think I've caught my death. Keep that within easy reach. I'm drowning. Hello? Oh, where is everybody? Hey, no one about? Taken my clothes, eh? Well, I'll keep these. Exchange is no robbery.
Blessings on you, good sirs. Will you take pity on a poor friar?
Begone with you. I've had my fill of begging friars.
I've been wandering all day with nothing to eat.
Here, Father, perhaps I can find something for you.
No, good brother. It isn't right that I should take from you.
I tell you, I've no money for you.
Not even in those bulging saddlebags?
No.
Dear me. You are a poor knight, aren't you? Let us pray together, brother, so that Providence in its mercy may give money to this knight that he may give to me.
Father Ignatius, I've no time for this sort of tomfoolery. The sheriff is expecting me.
Ah, one should always have time for prayer, my lord. Come, let us beg a blessing on this poor friar that his simple needs may be satisfied.
Get on with it.
Amen.
Thank you, brother. Now, it only remains to see how heaven has answered our prayers.
Oh, one cannot expect a miracle, my son. Be assured our prayers will be answered, given time.
Ah, but I can't wait. Let's look in the saddlebags now and see if our prayers have been answered already.
Stand back there. Ahoy!
Drop your swords.
Drop 'em. Do you yield?
Yes.
All right, get up. Open up the saddlebags. Aha! So, heaven didn't forget us after all. A veritable miracle.
Who are you?
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. I had heard of you from my Lord Ambrose as being an honest and an honorable man. But here I find you masquerading as a priest, holding up chapelets.
You are from Lord Ambrose. Do you know why this money is being taken to Nottingham?
Sir Watkin here is Lord Ambrose bailiff. I delivered his orders myself.
Correct. I've heard you respect crusaders, so let me pass.
I'm sorry, Father, but when you return to the Holy Land, you must tell Lord Ambrose that until his intentions are more clear, his money will be well looked after. By me.
I'm going to report this to the sheriff. You better get back to the castle. I know this face. You came to me dressed as a friar and complained about my... But you aren't a friar. You're an impostor and a spy.
Imposter? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm Friar Tuck.
If you're a friar, you've no business to be dressed in those clothes, have you?
Well, the fact of the matter is...
You came to spy on me yesterday. And I was robbed this morning. Also by a man posing as a friar. That was Robin Hood. Indeed, it wouldn't surprise me if you weren't in league with him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You reek of drink, too.
Ah, that was a mistake.
Do you usually pour drink over your clothes?
Of course not. I spilt it.
I'm taking you to the sheriff. Tie him up.
You can weigh that money in blood and tears. I'll leave it in your safekeeping, Little John, until we can return it.
Tuck left in a hurry. He was taking no chances with his distemper either.
Well, he can't have gone. I've got his clothes.
Why, you jerkin, my best hose. They've gone.
He's made off with Little John's Sunday best. Well, don't take it too much to heart, Little John. I never did like the cut.
He must be ill. He can't go roaming the countryside dressed like that.
Oh, Lady Marion, do not distress yourself.
Who might you be?
Lady Marion of Fitzwater. Release this priest immediately.
I am Sir Watkin of Parstock.
Then please untie this friar, Sir Watkin.
Friar? Oh, no, he's not a friar. He's only an outlaw posing as a friar.
There has been a misunderstanding, Lady Marion. Apparently I'm being taken to the Sheriff of Nottingham, and he knows who I am. There is nothing for me to fear.
But there's much for you to fear. Do you know the penalty for harming a friar?
Yes, I know it. And I also know the penalty for helping an outlaw.
My Lord Sheriff, this is an outrage. I promise you my bishop shall hear of this.
My dear Tuck, what on earth are you doing here?
What am I?
This is the man, my Lord Sheriff. This is my outlaw.
This? Oh, no! Well, well.
I demand that you release me instantly. You have no jurisdiction over me.
Gently, Tuck, gently. I trust my dungeon wasn't too uncomfortable.
I should never have been put in it in the first place.
Complete misunderstanding, I assure you. I was interrupted just before dinner by Sir Watkin, who simply told me that he'd captured an outlaw. Well, naturally, we had our dinner first.
Now that you know Sir Watkin has made a mistake, will you kindly have these chains struck off me?
What on earth are you wearing? Where's the friar's habit? Oh, yes, there's a lot that your bishop must hear about.
Well, whatever I'm wearing, you know that I am a priest.
Of course I do. You have a reputation in Nottingham for helping rogues and malingerers.
I follow the instructions of my order to help the sick and needy.
Is Robin Hood sick or needy?
Are you accusing the friar of being in league with Robin Hood?
I am.
Oh. Oh, then we'll have to try you, won't we?
If I am to be tried, I cannot be tried by your court.
I hadn't forgotten. You will be tried according to your cloth and on good and sufficient charges.
Including drunkenness.
Oh, you're quite right. Yes, I can smell it on him. Oh, I'm afraid we shall have to detain you a little longer. All right, take him away.
What? I warn you that even by detaining me, you are exceeding your authority, my lord.
Thank you, Robin. And then, as if that wasn't enough, off he went, still dragging poor Friar Tuck.
They obviously caught him in your clothes.
Why, now Sir Watkins will be at Nottingham with the sheriff, trying to prove that Friar Tuck's an outlaw.
But the sheriff can't pretend he doesn't know that Friar Tuck's a friar. Why, he's even attended one of his sermons.
Robin, Packhorse is leaving Sir Watkins Castle with Father Ignatius. Alone.
Oh, now that's strange. Which path did they take?
The north one.
Pack horses again. Come on, let's have a look at this.
Now, what is the meaning of this?
I'm sorry to delay you again, Father. You may go as soon as I see what you have in there.
Now, that is my Lord Ambrose's property.
More dues, eh? Where were you taking them?
I was taking whatever it is to Fountains Abbey.
Fountains Abbey? Why?
I don't know why. Sir Watkins said he was acting on Lord Ambrose's orders in sending me.
Why didn't he escort this himself?
Because apparently Lord Ambrose required me to escort it.
Well, let's at least see what it is. Apples? Apples for the Abbey? Well, a rich haul indeed.
This is just about as much as I intend to stand. First, I find a man whom I mistrust as a bailiff. Second, I come to suspect him of mistreating serfs. Third, he tries to make a fool of me.
I believe you to be a good man of the church, Father, and I think it's time that you and I started to work together.
My son, you are an outlaw. No, I could never...
Come now. All I want to do is to read the instructions that you delivered to Sir Watkin. Gold to Nottingham this morning, apples to the Abbey this afternoon. Well, you must admit he seems to be obeying some very strange orders.
Yes, but if my Lord Ambrose chooses to give him strange orders, it's not for me to object.
But what if Sir Watkin is giving himself strange orders? Now, the only way we can find that out is to read those instructions that you brought him. Do you know where they're kept? Father, do you trust Sir Watkin?
How can I? I intend to tell Lord Ambrose of my suspicions immediately I rejoin him in the Holy Land.
Wouldn't it be better to bring him proof of those suspicions?
Oh, very well. Now, the document you wish to see is in a large iron chest at Sir Watkins Castle.
Father Ignatius, back so soon?
Is Sir Watkin here?
No, he's still at Nottingham.
We were set upon by Robin Hood.
What again? Call yourselves soldiers? All right, Father.
I have been very gentle with you so far, Tuck, but I'm beginning to lose my patience. Where did you get those clothes?
I've told you. My own clothes were taken from me without my consent.
By whom?
I got drenched in yesterday's storm. I was forced to change my clothing.
Answer my question. Who stole your clothes and who gave you those? You don't choose to answer. You know that Sir Watkin was attacked by Robin Hood dressed as a friar.
So he says.
You are a friar.
I am, as you well know. And if I am to be tried, I demand to be tried by my fellow priests.
You'll find that your fellow priests are less patient than I am. Will they think that a fit dress for a priest? What will they think of your blundering into Sir Watkin, reeking of drink? What will the Abbot of St. Mary's think? Oh, yes. The Abbot of St. Mary's will preside over that court, and he is no friend of Robin Hood. And let me remind you that once you are unfrocked, as you most assuredly will be, you can be tried by me in civil court. And the penalty for the charges I shall bring is death by hanging.
Somebody coming. Who's in there? Open up! This is it. Open up! The window. Jump for it.
Clergy are assembling. There, I think, is the Abbot of St. Mary's. I have arranged for the Abbot to see you before we start official proceedings.
I have nothing to say to the Abbot of St. Mary's that cannot be heard in open court.
No doubt the Abbot will have something to say to you. For the sake of the good name of the church, we cannot wash our dirty linen in public.
Father Ignatius, I instructed you to go to Fountains Abbey.
Where I would be safely out of the way. Friar Tuck, my deepest regrets. It grieves me beyond measure that you should have had to suffer such indignities.
Lord Ambrose will hear of this insolence.
Yes, indeed he will. And also of the money which you have extorted illegally from his serfs.
Sir Watkin was only collecting on Lord Ambrose's behalf. There is a document by his hand. I saw it.
Yes, but have you read it? Here.
You have no right to that. Give it to me.
By your leave. To levy such rightful dues are presently set out in recognition of those men of the village who saved my life at the siege of Acre. Such dues are limited to 1 bushel of apples to be delivered at Fountains Abbey. The sum and total dues, 1 bushel of apples. Sir Watkin, you've misled me. You must answer this.
And you, Friar, must answer to the court. But I think you'll find it quite easy.
You're not letting him go.
But you insist that I go. Don't you, my Lord Sheriff?
But he'll be acquitted.
Naturally. His principal accuser will not give evidence.
What do you mean? I'm his principal accuser.
You will be in my dungeon. Now that this has become public, I must charge you with tax extortion.
But you were in it with me.
I'm afraid you'll find that very difficult to prove. To my satisfaction.
Robin Hood, riding through the glen. Robin Hood, with his band of men. Feared by the bad, loved by the good. Robin Hood.